Welcome to the 1980s Gladiator Round Tournament. This, of course, is still in the first round of action. Today's matchup features Rich Gaspari versus Brian Buchanan. And these are two opposites, apples and oranges. Really, depending on your tastes, gets the victory in this one here. Brian Buchanan is head and shoulders above Rich Gaspari in the overall silhouette. Look at the tiny waist, big shoulders. Nice big legs as well. But of course, Rich Gaspari, with a really terrible clavicle width and a pretty wide waist compared to his shoulder width, he displays some awesome conditioning. Really look in close there. Look at the vascularity and the conditioning of this man. Very cut in the ab region. So it is a coin toss. Now, normally I prefer the overall silhouette, but Rich Gaspari's is not that bad. When you consider the size of those legs, his proportions are nice as far as that aspect is concerned. So I am leaning just slightly towards Gaspari, knowing full well I will probably regret my decision as I pan back from these two pictures and comparisons. Wow, Buchanan's silhouette is so much better than Gaspari's, but I made my decision. Gotta stick with it. Let's go to the front double bicep. And Buchanan's tiny little wee waist earns him a victory in this one. Yes, Rich Gaspari probably is the more conditioned, or no, he is the more conditioned man. 9 times out of 10, that is true about Rich Gaspari. Look at those abs. Much bigger set of legs as well. Brian Buchanan holds his own as far as the legs are concerned. Plus his proportions, when you look at that little waist, he's got a freakishly small waist. We've all heard of freakishly large arms, legs, lats. But this man has a freakishly small waist. Very impressive. Gets him the win for sure, in my opinion. All right, tie game. Let's go to the next pose. And I could not see how any judge would vote in the favor of Rich Gaspari. Now, yes, he is the more conditioned man. Brian Buchanan's conditioning is not that bad. But as far as the overall silhouette is concerned and the aesthetics of this one, Buchanan is just flattening Gaspari. Gaspari looks atrocious in this pose. Now, yes, of course, he is tremendously conditioned, good set of abs, things of that nature, this and that. But the silhouette, look at those lats. I'm sorry, no disrespect meant to Rich Gaspari. He's a very decent man, I'm sure. He's a rich man. He's richer than I'll ever be. But, of course, he sucks in this front lat spread. And Brian Buchanan is out of sight. Brian Buchanan could be a dark horse in this tournament if he pulls ahead of Rich Gaspari. That would be an upset for sure. Let's go to the next pose. Here in the side chest, and Gaspari is tying things up. This is a decent little matchup. I'm not a fan of the way Buchanan's snapping this shot. Not at all. He looks oblonged a little bit. His arm almost looks too big in the elbow. Looks like he's got massive, big, giant elbows. Swinging it towards the camera, probably. Buchanan does have some big cannons, though. Rich Gaspari's side chest itself is just perfect. He's just perfectly built for this shot. Definitely wins in this pose. Alright, tie game. Let's go to the next shot. And yes, this picture of Buchanan does look like a photo shoot, but I'm 90% sure this is just a really clear picture of him posing at an event. It was in a couple other pictures beside it, and he was definitely at an event in the other pictures, and this is exactly the same footage. So, if it turns out it was a photo shoot, I apologize, but I do believe this was an event. And the picture quality of Rich Gaspari, it puzzles me. There's not many good competition-ready pictures of him. And that perhaps is a factor in him losing this shot to Brian Buchanan. I'm sure there is better back double biceps of Rich Gaspari somewhere, but couldn't find it. And in this comparison here, Brian Buchanan is the winner. Alright, there is lack of lat spreads on the part of Rich Gaspari, and of course no side tricep on the part of Brian Buchanan. So let's move right into this most muscular And much like the side chest pose, a lot of the times the less aesthetic guy has a really good chance of pulling off the victory. Rich Gaspari, look at that vascularity. He just looks awesome in this pose. Looks like a real beast, a real live animal. Now, it is a bad angle for poor Brian Buchanan, but I don't think that he would be touching Gaspari in this pose anyway. This is an awesome competition. This is a tie game heading into the last pose. This is a good one. All right, let's have a look at the ab and thigh pose. And I must say, this was one of the closest competitions that I've ever held. Wow, the silhouette of Brian Buchanan, once again, just like in every other pose, is winning. But this time he's not losing too bad, is Rich Gaspari. His silhouette is very good also. But his conditioning is most certainly superior against Brian Buchanan. That coupled with that thigh, he is winning in the thigh. That gets him the win. So this was an awesome competition, in my opinion, a very close race. And as always, we will take a look at the brackets and throw Rich Gaspari ahead into the second round of action. A tough matchup against Brian Buchanan. Bravo to Brian, that tiny little wee waist. Next matchup is going to be a personal favorite of mine. I have been anticipating this matchup since I put these brackets together. Danny Padilla versus Lee Labrada. Wow. Expect that one to be fireworks. Fireworks. Hope you enjoyed this one, and have a good day.